Hi, welcome to another video. I'm down at Esperance, going to do a bit of camping down here, and I thought while I'm down here doing a video on Esperance, I'll do a video on solo camping. I get quite a few comments on the channel asking about solo camping and how do I do it, some of the fears and some of the security measures that I take. So I'm putting together some hints and tips, and I hope that helps you with getting out there and feeling a little bit more confident and a little bit more secure when you're doing some solo camping. If you're going to do the lap around Australia, or you just want to get away from the weekend, there's a few measures that I take, and it just helps you feel a little bit more secure. I've been out solo camping for years. I came to Australia in 1980 and I was off on a motorbike travelling Queensland. Since then I've done it in four-wheel drives, caravans, my van, and out on the motorbike. I've had a great time doing that. Yeah, no, it really doesn't seem to bother me as much as it used to. The first thing I would recommend doing is, if you're going to be solo camping and you're new to it, solo camp in a group, which probably sounds a little bit dumb. Go to recognised camping areas where there's going to be other people, be it free or paid, and just get out on your own. And when you've got other people around you, you feel a little bit more secure, especially if they're in camper vans or caravans the same as you are. You don't have to camp right on their doorstep. With people around you, you do feel a lot more secure. And when you are choosing a place, choose a place that's not too far from home, so if you really do freak out or something happens, you can drive home, know where the local police station is, and you can always head off over there and park outside if you feel like somebody really is annoying you. But remember, I've been doing this for years. I've never had to knock on the door. I've never had to pack up and leave in the middle of the night. Most of our fear in our head, I think. It's like being a kid where your biggest fear is the monster under the bed that really doesn't exist. So there's no monsters hanging around the outside of your van or climbing on the roof waiting for you to walk out. Remember, you will hear noises in the night. You get the bumps, you get the possum that lands on your roof, or a big nut out of a tree, or even a small branch. Birds walk across your roof. Get used to it. They are explained. You'll certainly know if it is a person compared to an animal or a branch falling on the van. And once you've been out a few times, you'll start heading out further afield and looking for more out-of-the-way campsites, and that's when you'll really start to enjoy it. Finding a location, there's a lot of apps out there. Any Camps, Wiki Camps, you can search on Facebook, people leaving comments, the Grey Nomad site, and start choosing locations a little bit further afield and still with people sitting around, and your confidence will build up. One of the things I like to do is look on Google Earth, especially if I'm going to be camping in a town and looking for a free camp. If you are going to do some free camping or stealth camping, stay away from the tourist spots down on the local beach near the toilets and that, because especially in holiday season, that's the first place rangers are going to target looking for you. The biggest thing if you're stealth camping is arrive late and leave early. What I normally do is head down to a nice spot and have me barbecue, cook me tea, lie in the van, watch a couple of movies, and when I'm ready to go to bed, I'll drive off to my spot, and preferably around 8 or 9 o'clock, pull in and hop into bed. In the morning, you wake up, don't start cooking breakfast and sliding in and out of and opening and closing the door. Get in and go back to the spot that you left the day before. If you're sussing out a spot, do the drive-through during the day and check it all out. If you feel uncomfortable in a spot and your sixth sense or the hairs on the back of your neck start to rise, you're probably right. Don't stay there, get out. Look around full rubbish bins where people may have ended up after the pub and gone there for a takeaway meal at night or to continue drinking. Skid marks, things like that, broken glass, broken bottles, general rubbish around. Don't park in very dark spots. If there's a street lamp, park underneath it. With the light shining on your van, it's more of a deterrent for somebody to try and break in, rather than if you're up a dark alley and they know nobody's around or nobody can see you. Another place to avoid is residential areas. Small quiet streets might look good, but everybody knows who lives in that street, and when you get a strange van parked up there, especially white vans, there's something about white vans near school areas and residential streets that don't belong. They'll soon be on to the local police. Once you've found your spot, no matter where you are, be it a recognised free camping site or you're doing a bit of stealth camping, make sure you've got an exit. Don't go parking where someone can park in front of you and block you in. Don't park near big skip bins, because you'll get the rubbish trucks turning up very early in the morning. Not only the noise, but they can also block you in there as well. Before you get to your stealth camping spot or your quiet spot for the night, Make sure everything's packed up before you get into bed. You are ready to go if you need to. Don't have chairs outside, clotheslines or anything else on the external. Rubbish put away in the cupboards where they belong. Have your keys handy so you're not searching for them in the middle of the night if you need them. Don't leave them in the ignition, because if somebody does look through the window and sees them in there, that's just tempting fate. Be ready to move at a moment's notice. Again, this has never happened. I've been out there so many times, I've never heard of anything or anybody get the knock or people trying to bust into their vans. You only got to watch the news and you'll never see it. You'll see more home invasions and shark attacks than you ever will of people trying to break into somebody's van when they're in there. Because remember, they don't know who's in there. You could be more dangerous than they are. If you're searching for a van or you're just setting one up, the best type of van for me is a setup where you can get into the cab and into the back without having to go outside. So if you are in bed and you need to get up and move, you can hop through the front seats into the drivers and you're off and gone. If somebody does knock on your window or door and you hop into the front seat, make sure you've got some clothes on. If you do get a knock on the door or on the window, hop into the front seat, have your keys with you, get ready to drive away. Don't wind down the window or unlock the doors. Just because he says he's a security guard means absolutely nothing, and they have no authority on making you get out or anything like that. If it's a ranger and he wants to fine you, good, he can take your registration number and send the fine off to you. If it's the police, different story. Comply with what the police say. Make sure you get a badge number or some identification from the police. Just because he's in a suit doesn't mean he's a detective. If you are parked somewhere you're really not supposed to be, especially along water's edges, try and look as though you're not actually camping. Set the fishing rods out. If you've got a surfboard on the roof, get it out and lean it up against the side of the van, or your wetsuit like you've just been for a swim or you're going out, getting ready to go out. Another one that I've used in the past is I had a telescope. It wasn't an expensive one, and I just had that set up outside. I was sitting there on my chair and I was just waiting for the sun to set so I could see the stars. Or if you've got a camera on a tripod, it looks like you're waiting for the sun to set and take some night photographs or the city lights or something like that. Dressing up your van. That's a big mistake a lot of people make, and it really advertises that they are camping. Everything's on the outside. They've got stickers all over the window saying where they've been. And one of the things I see quite often is these wicked vans with all their painting on the outside, the wording, and they stand out like something that belongs to a dog. So keep it plain, keep it simple. Don't go putting flowers and painting it pink and things like that and butterflies all over it, because that's a sure sign that there's a female or solo female in that van, because a bloke's not going to do that, is he? When you do camp at night, make sure you put everything away. Don't leave bicycles and things on the roof if you can help it. Just put them in on the front seat where possible. Be ready to move if you need to. But leaving chairs and tables out at night, not a good move. Harder to get away quick, but it also advertises that there's somebody in there and they're sleeping the night. And the more you look like a tradies van, or you buy an old tradies van with some stickers on it and business signs, ladder on the roof, is a great idea. It doesn't look like a camper at all. There's actually a YouTube called Love Sundays. I watch him quite often. He's done a couple of fit outs and made stealth vans, and there was one he's just still doing at the present time while I'm recording this. And he's making a completely stealth van with the tradie signs, the ladders on the roof, and he's actually put some CCTV on the roof that you can't see, solar panels. So have a look at that. So Love Sunday. Now if you're on your own, don't advertise the fact. Always have 2 chairs. Put 2 chairs out when you set up camp. On your dashboard, maybe you could throw a couple of different caps up there, Harley Davidson or Triumph if you really have to, and makes it always look like there's a male in the vehicle with you. Or a jacket on each seat is also, looks like there's 2 people there all the time. A little bit of music going all the time on the radio. They hear the sound and they think there's 2 people in there talking. Don't appear to be camping alone is the trick. And remember, if you're in your van and you got all the curtains closed and you're yakking away, or you got the music playing, whoever is out there does not know that you're on your own, and they don't know who you are. They don't know it's a small person, never been out on their own and never camped before, timid person. What they think is who's in there, and And you could be more dangerous than they are. They just don't know. Fear comes from fear itself. If you really do start to worry and you're not sure what to do, jump in the front, and if you know where the local police station is, or even an all-night petrol station that's got plenty of lights, and you just pull up into their parking bay, you can see if somebody's followed you, which, as I say, is very, very unlikely. But in that event, you're there, you're under lights, they've got cameras in petrol stations, and you can go and have a sleep there. You're not going to get a lot of sleep because it'll be pretty noisy, but at least you know you're safe and you feel comfortable. And in the morning light, you can move off and find somewhere else that you feel more comfortable with. And the end of my spiel, as I said, is all about security. There's a few little items that you can buy that are going to really help you out. One is a good LED torch, and you can get the ones that you pull out and they actually pinpoint the beam and you can spot things a mile away. But one of those will blind somebody that's trying to look through your windows or whatever, and it'll help to disorientate them while you're getting in the front seat and driving away. Air horns that they use in the sports one with the little gas cylinders, they are bloody loud. You fire that off a couple of times, it'll deter anybody. Also, you can buy the personal alarms that you pull out, you can attach them to the door. They have a little string or a little connector on them, and by using that, that'll set off an alarm. CCTV, you can set up small units that'll run off 12 volt, one or two on the roof pointing down if you can hide them, or the other option is to have a small one that's running on the front, just have it on the dash, so if anybody's looking through there, at least you got some sort of idea of somebody's identity and you can show it to the police. If you feel that you need some sort of weapon, don't go using the baseball bats and knives and things like that, because if you actually injure somebody, you can be charged for carrying a concealed weapon. Or something a little bit different, a rolling pin. Now, you go to court and they say, well, why did you hit him? And he says, well, it was the first thing at hand. So you're not actually arming yourself, it is just something there as a protector. In most cases, it's best just to jump in the vehicle and drive away. But overall, camping out on your own is safe. Just finished a trip to Esperance, and this is where a lot of this is filmed in my backdrop. I hope you get out there and really enjoy some camping. These few tips will help your experience and make you feel a little bit more confident and a little bit safer. So thanks for watching, keep the shiny side up, and I'll see you soon.